side by Djakovic.
Carlton has been poor travellers this season, losing all 3 of its interstate matches. In fact, that's been their story for most of this decade, and they come here tonight with plenty of confidence, having already beaten the Lions once in 2009. And congratulations to Santandro helping the big Irishman. 50 games tonight. Brisbane, well, Michael Voss has them up and running. The Lions in 4th spot with a nice blend of experience and youth. And their form with the Gabba is good this year, having won 4 from 5. Both teams as selected. There's the Carlton lineup. Waite's an enormous loss, isn't he?
Yes, and some good additions to the Carlton team. Scotland comes back into the side, Carazzo and Grigg as well. Joseph is holding his place in the side. A first-year player. He'll do a tagging job, probably on Simon Black.
He'll get Brown.
Yeah, I think Thornton did a good job on Brown last time they played. He may well get that role.
They've covered for Patfull and Merritt pretty well the last couple of weeks.
They have, but I still think that Drummond they need to play across half-back. He's probably the best kick in the game at the moment. And maybe young Lockie Henderson, but only a handful of games will play at centre half-back.
And we're underway for Saturday night footy. And we're looking forward to that battle in the ruck between the 2 young guns too, in Mitch Clark and Matthew Cruiser.
It's interesting with Bradshaw playing at full-back. He's kicked 28 goals this season, and Brown's kicked 31, so they rely on Bradshaw a lot up forward.
Here's Chris Judd. And there's the Fisher-McDonald battle. First points, very minor points, to Fisher, who kept his footing, but couldn't take the footy with him. Was okay last week when he came back, Rob.
Well, he can take an overhead mark. That's the thing about him. He's the 3rd tall. Our Halpin playing as a centre half forward, starting there tonight.
3 goals from 14 disposals last week, Brad Fisher, on his return to the Carlton side. Easy winning possessions, certainly not easy early here. McDonald the first to have anything meaningful. And he got the cheers from the crowd, and Jonathan Brown comes out early. So it's Brown against Thornton. Played on him last time and really nullified him, so did a good job. Long ball from Brown to full forward. Brennan has it all before him. As always, he makes it look more difficult perhaps than it was, but the main thing is he's clunked it beautifully, and Brisbane had the opening goal. Sprightly start for the Lions.
He's a great athlete, isn't he?
He is. His recovery was really good, but just the spoil not strong enough to knock it out of his area by Bauer. And we know he can do that sort of thing all night because he can go left side, right side, doesn't matter. One of the most skillful players in the game. He'll relish the challenge of playing as a key forward now that Bradshaw's down the other end.
It wasn't the normal across-your-body kick, though, there. Well, he almost kicked under the ball still. Got extra spin on it, but anyway, it went through.
He's got plenty of tricks, and a good start by Jonathan Brown, the skipper. Thornton playing on Brown. Thornton did a pretty good job on Brown earlier this year. And
it is a full moon.
A couple of old veterans down there.
That'll be a fascinating battle as we start proceedings again in the middle. Johnston back in the team after being dropped. There's Power. Didn't find a teammate. Coming in is Simpson. He's gang tackled by a couple of Lions and will have a bounce just inside Brisbane's 50.
Henderson lining up at full forward in place of Bradshaw. So they've got Brennan down there, and there's Brennan, Bauer, his opponent, and young Lockie Henderson. He started deep inside the Brisbane forward line.
Brown. Too much on the handball for Power, but mopping up is Sherman, who gave it back to Power, back to Sherman, back to Power, eventually gets a quick kick, and Brennan in front.
What he's got, Quarters, is long arms, and he gets them up at full stretch, and already a bit of a danger for Bauer.
So, surprisingly, he's kicked the 4 goals so far this season, Jared Brennan, but played a bit in the ruck. As he comes in from just outside 50. And is that a mark or is it a point? Clark claims it, but it's through for 1 behind.
So Thornton brings it back into Judd, who instantly plays on. Looked up, didn't see anything immediate, so he went very short, and he's got involved for the 3rd time tonight. after Brandauer helping sneaked away here. Trevor Johnston with the pursuit skills. Leaves it for Houlihan. Works it back for Carazzo. Cruz has pushed inside the 50. Back for Houlihan, who moved well playing as a forward last week. Well,
he didn't mean that,
but that's a fluke.
He didn't mean that. That was a left foot mongrel off the boot. Fev just in the right place at the right time. And a terrific 1-2 combination by Judd from deep in the defensive 50. 2 plays to get it into the Carlton forward 50.
So what's the early feeling going to be like for Fev?
Well, he's kicked 31 goals, 27 behinds. So he hasn't really been that accurate.
There's his famous grip on the ball. And now the shot for goal from 40. It's enough. It holds its line. And the Blues get one back.
Beautiful goal assist from Houlihan. Caught Fev by surprise too. He just managed to cling onto the Sharon.
He did in front. He was lucky. And Carazzo getting a touch, Houlihan getting a touch. Carazzo coming back into the Carlton team. Houlihan came back in last week after being dropped. So they'd be happy to get a couple of early touches.
So somewhat lucky goal for the Blues, but Brendan Favola made the most of that opportunity. His form at the Gabba is not good. He's, before tonight, only kicked 9 goals in his last 5 matches here in Brisbane, but he started well tonight. Attacking it is Sherman. Brisbane get the clearance. Comes out to Rich, who just slaps it forward. Lions running in waves. McGrath goes for home. It's a beautiful kick. It's a magnificent goal to Brisbane. That was great stuff. It all started at the centre bounce, and they just ran down in waves, Rob, from half back. And McGrath, beautiful finish. Brisbane gets it second.
And a clever little tap by Daniel Rich, tap to advantage. We'll see it come up here. Ball spills out of the middle. And strength of Sherman. Adcock gets the handball there. Rich knows if he takes possession, he'll get tackled, so he just taps it to advantage. I think in the end, McGrath was looking for someone to kick it to, but the leads all disappeared. In the end, he had to ping himself.
Here's Fev and McGrath after Fev kicked the goal. Well, Fev maybe not laughing after McGrath kicked that one running up the ground. And some nice goals to start the evening here, 6 minutes in. 2 goals to 1. Grigg tagging Simon Black very closely. Brett Ratton talked through the week about Simon Black and how he'd been trouble for the Blues in the past, and he just looked like he was starting to find his best form late last week, Simon Black. So Brett Ratton putting a few interesting clamps down. Nick Stevens is playing, starting at half forward and pushing up into the midfield. You can see him in the bottom of the screen there. That's Grigg getting it out, but not for long. And this man is so dangerous, Sherman. Long ball inside the 50. Already Brown, a big presence up there. Armfield sneaks in. Well done. Thornton really throwing the ball around, showing it around to everyone. Scotland and Stevens get involved. And the Blues might be clear defensively. Yes, they are, as Garlett comes up to take the mark.
Garlett kicks towards O'Halpin.
Should have marked it.
He's playing game 50. It is very dewy out there, Rob, though. It's very slippery conditions, despite the fact it's been a couple of dry days up here. Gibbs wasn't amongst all that. Comes out to Garlett. Now Houlihan. Back to Gibbs. Long ball for Favola. One out with Bradshaw. Bit of wrestling. Favola nudged Bradshaw out of the way nicely. Can he follow up? He can, but he misses 15 metres out from goal.
He did everything right except kick the goal, Fev. Good body work to take Bradshaw past the footy.
Did all the hard work.
Yeah, and you can just see there, he did a little bit of hip work. Just gets Bradshaw 2 metres off. He'd be disappointed he missed that because the easy bit he mucked up.
Big kick out. Finds McGrath, gives it off to Power. And he goes short and finds Henderson. He gives it to Johnston. Best on ground last week in the reserves for Brisbane, so immediately back into the team. Brown caught out of position. Well done by Thornton.
Yeah, good play by Thornton. Just held Brown out with one hand, let the ball come onto him.
Goes to centre.